Hello everybody and welcome back to another EP video. Before we get started, and for those wondering where I've been over the last week or so, I have just been incredibly busy with obligations outside of the channel and needed to take a break for a little while. I might still have other people record scripts for videos in the future, but I assure you that I am still the one creating the ideas and graphics for every video uploaded to this channel. If you'd like your voice featured on the channel sometime in the future, please send a video of you recording a script to electionpredictionsofficial@gmail.com. You are free to use the one that I posted in the community tab, or you can come up with one on your own. Now let's get back to the video. The 2022 midterm elections will decide not only who controls the United States Senate and House of Representatives, but also, crucially, which party holds the 36 governor seats up for election. These state contests will play a key role in determining the policies that states adopt, while also serving as a launchpad for potential national political stars who might find their way into federal office, like the Senate or even the presidency. In past midterms, a sizable number of governorships have switched party hands, often with major political ramifications. However, at this early stage, it's not clear how much turnover there will be in 2022. On the one hand, the party in the White House usually loses seats, and some Republican-leaning voters may be more motivated than Democrats to turn out to vote because they are frustrated with Democrats and President Biden. But on the other hand, 29 of the 36 governors up for election can run again, so that could limit the number of seats that Democrats lose, as incumbents tend to have a better chance of holding on to a party's seat. And finally, very few Democrats govern Republican-leaning states. History itself does suggest that Republicans are well positioned to gain at least some ground, though. In 16 of the 19 midterm elections held after World War II, the president's party lost governorships. Now, this is not to say that the midterms are always a bloodbath for the party in the White House, but on average, the president's party has lost roughly 4 seats per midterm in the past 75 years. Although the results have varied quite a bit, ranging from a loss of 11 seats in 1970 to a gain of 8 seats in 1986. And tellingly, a presidential party has avoided losing ground or has barely lost any when the incumbent president had strong approval ratings. In the 3 instances where the party in the White House did not lose any seats, all 3 presidents, John F. Kennedy in 1962, Ronald Reagan in 1986, and Bill Clinton in 1998, had approval ratings north of 60%. And the 2 times when the president's party lost only 1 seat, 1990 and 2002, the incumbent's approval rating was still quite high. George H.W. Bush's approval rating was in the mid-50s in 1990, and George W. Bush's was in the low 60s in 2002. So clearly, where Biden's public standing is next November will be critical in the upcoming midterm elections. But even if Biden's approval rating remains in the low to mid-50s, Democrats will still have a tough time making gains, as the president's party has added governorships just once in a post-World War II midterm in 1986. And it's hard to imagine Democrats replicating Republican success that year when they gained 8 governorships in the midst of Reagan's second term. That striking outlier was not only the result of Reagan's sterling approval rating, but also a number of Democratic governors had left office in Republican-leaning states as well, which, of course, made it easier for Republicans to pick them up. Ultimately, though, the upshot of having so many incumbents running is that it could reduce the chances of seats changing party hands. And this may be especially true in 2022 because neither side has a lot of overly friendly turf to win back. Only 7 seats up for election are in states where the governing party lost the state in the 2020 presidential election. In fact, this is the one area on the 2022 map where Democrats have an advantage, as they have only 1 seat to defend in a state that Biden lost in 2020, Kansas. Of course, this does make Governor Laura Kelly arguably the most endangered incumbent governor running in 2022, and as such, she has already attracted top-tier GOP opponents in State Attorney General Derek Schmidt, and probably former Governor Jeff Collier as well. Beyond Kansas, though, the map gets easier for Democrats. They do have to defend 4 swing states that Biden won by fewer than 3 percentage points: Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. But only in Pennsylvania is the incumbent not eligible to run again. Furthermore, the other two term-limited Democratic governors are from very or fairly Democratic territory, Hawaii and Oregon. And this is also true of the most likely Democratic candidate to retire or resign, New York's disgraced Governor Andrew Cuomo. Collectively, though, the 2022 map and the party's catalog of incumbents should make it manageable for Democrats to retain most of these governorships, unless, of course, the environment becomes especially dire, which is not impossible to imagine considering the losses they suffered in 1994 and 2010. On the flip side, though, the GOP must defend 3 governorships in deep blue terrain, and one of those seats may be extremely challenging to retain: the state of Maryland, where popular GOP Governor Larry Hogan is term limited. As for the other 2 Republican blue state governors, Charlie Baker of Massachusetts and Phil Scott of Vermont, they are not term limited and enjoy fairly high approval ratings. They have also survived re-election challenges before, so provided that they run again, they, along with Chris Sununu of New Hampshire, give the GOP a better chance of holding on to this Democratic-leaning turf, given that gubernatorial elections are not as nationalized or polarized as congressional and, of course, presidential elections. That being said, Sununu may run for U.S. Senate, which could make New Hampshire more favorable for Democrats. Moving on, though, Republicans will also have to defend seats in swing states like Arizona, Florida, and Georgia. But similar to the Democratic battleground situation, just one of those states, Arizona, is set to be an open seat race. Ultimately, the story of the 2022 environment is that much will depend on whether the midterm penalty outweighs the incumbency advantage, and the small number of contests taking place in unfavorable territory. Still, though, these opposing forces could collectively limit just how many governorships change hands in the 2022 midterms. And that is all for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please make sure to follow EP Official on all social media shown on screen and linked in the description down below. Also, make sure to comment your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, and please hit the like button if you liked the video as well. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching. Check out more content from my channel here, and as always, tune in next time. EP out.